Which of these 5 physiques would you want the most? Well, if you chose the middle, you've come to the right place. My name's Brady, and people call me Greenie, and recently I've been training to get the most aesthetic physique possible. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing what I've learned so you can join me in my journey. First, what is an aesthetic physique? That is an aesthetic physique. Broad shoulders, slim waist, big back. So I structure my workout with a push, pull, and leg day. So let's start with the push day. That's going to be focusing up here. Let's get started. The only heavy incline movement I do for chest is the incline dumbbell press. It targets the upper portion of your chest, which gets hit the least. The only thing I do for a push movement for my chest is incline dumbbell press. I usually do 8 to 12 reps with 2 or 3 sets. And I take my last set to failure. A fly movement. Now this is going to hit your middle chest while doing something like this. So, as you can see what I was just doing, that's basically a pec deck. And one of my personal favorites, cable flies, where you're taking the cables from low and pushing them high to, again, get that upper chest. Let's go on to shoulders. There are 3 parts of the shoulder: front, side, and rear delt. For the front delt, all you're gonna wanna do, any kind of overhead press, will perfectly hit the front delt. Now, so if that's barbell or dumbbell, you're just going like that. Now, me personally, my front delt doesn't need as much work as, say, my chest or side delts, so I kind of let them get hit in my chest movement and then do them every so often. Now, we're gonna focus on the side delts. All you need to do is a form of a lateral raise like this. I don't know if I spelled that correct. You can either do it with dumbbells like this, or you can take the cable and have the cable in your hand like this, and go up like this, which is a more controlled one. Now for the last part of your shoulder, which is the rear delt face pulls, where you're gonna take the cable machine and you're gonna take a rope, and then you're just gonna simply bring it back. I don't know what this is technically called. You would just take a bare cable, no attachment on it. You would just take the bare end of the cable and do like this with one arm, and then you would switch to your other arm. Now, that hits the rear delt perfectly, and that's mainly what I do for my rear delts. Last but not least is going to be the reverse pec deck, so you're just going to sit down, do the pec deck like so. Those are your rear delts, which will finish off shoulders. The good old tricep is some sort of overhead push-up. That can be, you take the rope, and you get the rope, and you do a push-up overhead, like that. The other can be a one-hand overhead with just the cable, and then you switch it. And these overhead presses are going to target this back tricep right here, which is called the long head. Then we have push downs, which you can do a bar push down just like this, or you can get a single hand cable push down. Also, you can do dips for the triceps, but basically what that push down is going to hit is the lateral head, this nice long part right here. Now, last but not least, we have the medial head, which is not this, which is the long head, but down here, which is the medial head. You can do by hitting any type of a reverse grip tricep movement. So that's going to be your diamond push-ups where you're pushing up like when your hands are in a diamond. And that is going to be all for the tricep. Congratulations, you have made it to pull day. Muscle groups that we're going to be hitting: back and bis. So in the back, I usually just split it into upper back, mid back, or lats, and then lower back or lower lats. So pretty much everything I went over in rear delts is going to be your reverse back. But I'm going to also add one more. That one more is going to be a dumbbell row. Make sure it's flat if you want to hit the upper. What that's going to do is hit your lat, but it's also going to hit your upper back if you do it flat. And then which I also consider part of my upper back is just going to be your traps. And we all know the best way to train your traps is going to be the shrugs. You should tilt yourself a little bit when you do shrugs. I really do not like that massive trap look that people go for, but that's just me personally. If you want bigger traps, do more shrugs. That's it. For the mid back and lats, you really just want to focus on those row movements. The seated row, a barbell row, or an overhead row are all going to hit your lats. And also the dumbbell row is coming back, but this time if you want to do a dumbbell row that hits your lats and not mainly your upper, you're going to want to incline the bench a little bit, lean up, so you're rowing like this, and that's really going to hit that mid lat. And then we got the seated machine rows too. And lats are one of the most important things with aesthetic physique, because it's really going to give you that V shape, which is what we want to look like. We have a smaller waist, bigger back, and that really just completes the aesthetic look. So make sure to focus a lot on your back. Now it's time for the lower back, but you need to make sure to be careful to not overtrain your lower back, because 1, you could get injured, and 2, it doesn't really look the best when your physique goes like this. The only thing I do are overhead cable rows. So basically what you're going to do is get down on one knee. You're going to take your high cable on one knee, and you're just going to pull it across your body from up. And that's really gonna hit mid and lower lats. That's the main thing I do for my lower back. Sometimes I'll deadlift, but that is the other thing for your lower back. The best thing probably for your lower back is gonna be deadlifts, but you also have to be careful of injury, so make sure you're doing it right. Look up a video on how to do it right. And 2, don't overdo it, because you don't want an overdeveloped lower back. And that finishes off the back exercises. Now we're gonna go on to the bicep exercises. So the first exercise we have, of course, going to be curls, but specifically the kind of curls, just straight barbell curls or dumbbell curls that are flat. And that's what's gonna hit the short head of the bicep, which is right here. And then the curls that are gonna hit your long head and brachialis are hammer curls. Now with hammer curls, that's what's gonna get you the nice peak up there. And the last type of curl is just gonna be incline curls when you're on a bench and you're inclined and you're just going like this. That's gonna also target the long head, but no brachialis this time. So basically, you just wanna go these kinds of curls, hammer curls, incline curls, and then also, it's not part of the bicep, but for forearms, you're gonna wanna do, and preacher curls are gonna be when your arm is resting on the bench and you're just going up like this. Really destroys your forearms. And then also, if you want your forearms to maybe be a little bit bigger, Sam Suleks, get the bar and do the forearm exercises like this with whatever weight feels right for you. And that is gonna be all for biceps. You do have to hit them. Don't skip them. Talking about legs. Legs are not the biggest thing as far as aesthetics goes. So basically what I'm just gonna say is do your machines for the hamstrings and the quads. Do squats. So I warm up with hamstrings and then I'll go into heavy squats. And that basically finishes off my upper legs. And then you're just gonna do calf raises for your calves. So whether that be the machine or if the machine's not working, taken, or you don't have one, just take some dumbbells in your hands and you calf raise on a stair or on the ground. And then you can do the abductions if you want, but if you really want to get that whole leg in there, abductions. Now with abs, there are exercises to train that we'll go over. The most important part, to see your abs, you need to have a lower body fat percentage. Basically what that means is more cardio and a little less calories. Don't go to McDonald's every day and expect to see a six-pack. That's just not gonna happen. Now you may even get to a lower body fat percentage and you might still not be able to see them that much. And that's kind of just the luck of the draw in your genetics, and it's where you store fat. So for me personally, I don't store a lot of fat on my abs, which is why even now when I'm trying to gain weight, I still have some pretty good abs, but for some people, they'll have a low body fat percentage and they won't be able to see their abs. And that just kind of sucks. But as far as exercises go, sit-ups is the main one if you want to grow your abs. And then cable crunches, where you take the cable, put it on your head, you're kneeling down, and you just crunch your abs. And that's really going to target your abs if you really want that. Now for me personally, I think I've gotten to the point where I don't need to train abs anymore because they get trained when I'm working out my other muscles by tightening your core. Now guys, if you want to give me any feedback on this video, it would be greatly appreciated in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe because I will be making one video per week. And I encourage you to grow with me as I grow myself. See you in the next video.